What's up? I just hit Mythic with a sweet deck. It was humans, of course, using the best human in the game, Winota, Joiner of Forces, to create huge board states that run over your opponents. After grinding up through Platinum without a companion and just not having that extra card that you needed sometimes when you mold a 6, I realized that putting in Giganta was just such a huge advantage for my deck. I had to take out some good cards like Night Air and Avios to include it, but it's really good. Guide of Souls is one of the best cards in the entire game. It is the premier way to race other creatures. You gain life when you play yours, and paired with cards like Static Prison, kind of getting to play defensive and offensive with synergy between your non-creature cards and your creature cards. Reanimate's super important when they try to go after your hand and make you discard cards. You need this because they can't really make you discard any creatures. And it also has some crazy applications when you Thoughtseize them, take their huge creature, reanimate it. Thoughtseize is just important in the Timeless format. You just need a turn 1 discard spell a lot of the time, especially going second. Galvanic Discharge is the highest upside, creature 1-for-1 removal spell there is in the game. Deathrite Shaman, this guy is pretty good. He can definitely make some turn 3 Winotas, but it's not always that good. But he's just a great guy overall. I only have one Ajani. I'd probably cut Deathrites for Ocelot Prides and Ajanis, as you can craft them. Deep Cavern Bat, just a necessary evil of the format. You have to go after the hand because there's so many turn 2 kills in the game, especially going on the play, Orcish Bowmasters, I cut it down to 3 just because I was getting owned by so much combo that I had to put in an extra Thoughtseize, but it's a great card for the creature decks. Hits things like Amped Raptor. You play Amped Raptor because it lets you cheat on mana, synergizes with all of your kill spells. Super great card. Juggernaut Peddler goes after the hand, and he's very necessary to the format and to this deck for that reason. He's probably the best version of this card. Boromir has been an absolute treat. Boromir has been countering spells that people try to omniscience you on turn 2. And Black Bloom Robe kind of sucks, but it's a necessary evil of playing the premier 4-drop in the game. Move over 1 ring. Winota, Joiner of Forces. This card just lets you flip races. If you can get 3 triggers, you pretty much just win. Getting 2 triggers often just wins. Getting 1 trigger sometimes wins. This is my big boss choice of the deck, Checked. It's a 4-3 that the game doesn't know how to balance transformations. It transforms when it hits into a 7-7 that rips a card from their hand, and you draw a card, and then it does it again. And it has Menace, so it's just pretty much unblockable. And it triggers Winota if you flip it. So, if you just have Winota in this and, some random guy that doesn't do much, you get to get more triggers. It's really good. Witch Enchanter hits a lot of different things in the format, and you get it for free off of Winota, so it's great. The mana base, the really important thing was Overgrown Tomb. I was playing a Starting Town, because this card's just, impressive. Overall, just a really fast and disruptive creature deck that can win you games on the Timeless Best of 1 ladder. Alright, let's check out some of this gameplay. Looking at my opener, it's really weak to a turn 2 kill, but hard to mulligan lands and spells in Best of 1. There are some strengths to the hand depending on what they're playing as well, like Double Reanimate is pretty good against discard spells like Grief. Once they pitch Orcish Bowman for the Grief, I know that I am pretty much not going to die on turn 2 or get a board state against me that is unbeatable on turn 2, and I like my hand. They rip Winota, which I think was a mistake. They probably should rip Reanimates, because you rip double Winota and leave me with my Reanimates, then I'm just going to have a turn 1 Winota, which I go for. And now the race is on between turn 1 Grief and turn 1 Winota. They have Crack a Fetch, which is probably good for my racing capabilities. They go after my hand with the Thoughtseize, but I'm pretty well insulated. Now they rip Reanimate, which I think was worse here, because now I get a chance to take a look at the top of my deck with Amped Raptor. Luckily for them, there's nothing on top, but I'm still winning this race. They need something else. They're still bashing with Grief, which is understandable, but now I get a chance at winning the game. And I find the lethal amount of damage. And with them wasting a little bit of mana, they were just too slow to beat Winota. Looking at this opener, there's lands and spells and an interactive element in Juggernaut Peddler. When they drop triple Leyline, but only one of them is Sanctity, I know I have a chance. So the plan here is to turn 1 Static Prison. This double Leyline of the Void thing is so annoying. Anyways, the plan here is to Static Prison the Leyline of Sanctity, opening up a chance to strip his hand. That's what's protecting him from being targeted by any of my things. So I have to strip that, even if it's just temporary, because getting off 1 Peddler can often win when they're down 3 cards like this. Luckily they don't really play anything on turn 2 that stops me, like any hand control of their own. When they show me triple huge cards, I'm kind of thinking, but it doesn't matter, they just concede. Alright, last game. This opener isn't very good. Elegant Parlor is on the lower end of lands I could be drawing, and I don't have my 3rd color. So one of my cards is already uncastable, plus I have a bad land. This is a mulligan. This hand is the nuts without any interaction. So I'm ready, but willing to lose this game pretty much to any sort of creature interaction. You know, and a good hand to back it up. But when it's Soul Warden, I am already feeling favored. I play out my Goddess Old because Goddess Old is just better Soul Warden. And they have a 1/1 creature in my Orcish Bowman in hand. I'm just going to play out the Bowman. You never know what's in, you know, Soul Warden players' decks. So I think just getting rid of it now and beating down for 1, not giving them any options to block and use a trick or anything, I think it's just good. Then they play a 1/1 Mossborn Hydra into my other Bowman in hand, and I'm feeling like about 95% to win this game now. It would take a Wrath from here, which, you know, you never know what's in Mossborn Hydra decks, but you usually don't think there's going to be Wraths in it. I really don't know how this deck made it this far when I was grinding so hard, but, you know, it is what it is, and I get triple Winota triggers. Which is just way too many dudes on the board for Abzan Battle Priest to deal with. And that's game. I guess not, actually game, but what can you do? This deck is great, honestly. It's just a great deck. It really doesn't ever win in best of 3 because the sideboard tools are too broken, but best of 1, totally playable. You can play creatures in the Timeless format. It's pretty cool. I guess, non-Boros creatures in the Timeless format. One more look at the deck list. Signing off. Thanks for watching, everyone.